The best piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.
What is freedom? I think I stole this from Bob Dylan, but maybe I stole this from Woody Guthrie. Freedom for me is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and in between doing exactly what I want to do. What's the secret to happiness? The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I want to say thank you for joining me. Now, here in a minute, we're going to get to reviewing one of your websites, and I do want to point out that while this has been pre-recorded, I'm hanging out in the chat, interacting with you guys live and answering your questions. Now, if you're interested in having your website reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your site. And in addition to getting a site review, I also offer a one-on-one session to each photographer who has had a site review done to help them answer any questions or assist in making any changes that they may want to make. Now, don't forget, we also live stream every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there. Let's get into the site review.
Hi guys, this is Katie bringing you another Zenfolio live site review. I'd like to thank you all for joining us and remind you that while this has been pre-recorded, we'll be hanging out with you guys in chat to talk about the review as this goes on. And please chat in, let us know if you have any questions or have any comments to offer about our site review today. So today we're going to be looking at Witt Photography and Film. That's at www.wittphotographyandfilm.com. And I just want to thank Hannah and Matt for submitting their site for our review. So let's go ahead and get started. We're looking here on the home page, and it looks like Hannah and Matt have included a custom logo here on the home page. I think that looks really great. And if you have that option, it's definitely a good idea if you have a logo available to customize your site with your personal logo to really emphasize your own personal branding. So good job on the use of the custom logo. And if I scroll down here just a little bit, I see that we're looking at a really great use of the welcome message. So in this case, the welcome message is right away letting us know exactly where we can find Matt and Hannah and sort of the area that they're servicing. So definitely a great idea and a good use of the welcome message with some helpful testimonials thrown in there as well. So I really enjoyed this welcome message, and the use of the footer to include more location and contact info I thought was pretty wise. So let's go ahead and get in here in the photography section. So looking here at photography, it looks like this is being used to deliver client galleries to clients, and that the gallery thumbnails page has been disabled to use the gallery photos page instead as a kind of user-controlled slideshow. I think that's a really nice use of this type of gallery photos page. It has a clean look like the rest of the site. So I really like the consistency of the branding on these kinds of pages. One thing I did notice when I was looking at these galleries was that there were a few options to share the photo, and it looks like we've got some embed and direct linking options here from the photos page. But really nice looking site page in the photography section. And I'm seeing consistent pages as well as far as layouts. I did notice that here, between a couple of these galleries in the photography site menu item, that there's a consistent layout for the first few galleries, and then maybe for these older galleries, it's switched to an alternate layout in the gallery photos page. So that may be something you'd want to revisit unless you're wanting to differentiate between, say, engagement style pages versus the wedding galleries, but it could be a little confusing just in that we're seeing gallery photos pages for both, but then a different layout for the one type of gallery versus the other. Maybe if there was, like in these engagement galleries, if there was some indication that these were wedding galleries, and maybe that was why they would look a little different, could help to clarify that for your clients. I also noticed that for that group, it looks like that group is named Portfolio, while the site menu item is named Photography. I'm not sure if that's a deal breaker for me or for anyone else. What do you guys think in chat? Should there be a little bit more consistency if someone's heading to photography? Should they see Portfolio here? Would it be better for that to be displayed as photography? Because for me, what I think of when I see that someone is putting a portfolio option for me to review, I want to see really something more like highlights from a variety of shoots with some indication of what type of shoots those are. So if I was looking at a wedding portfolio versus an engagement portfolio versus a portrait portfolio, I want to see some highlights from a variety of clients and really the best shots. So I think it might be helpful to rename this group Photography as opposed to Portfolio. Okay, so looking here at the film site menu item, I really like this layout. I like the use of the spotlight content and seeing some very clearly communicated types of films that are being made for your various clients. And I also noticed some good consistency between these different galleries containing these videos. It was very consistent throughout. So very helpful and easily navigable, this film section. So let's go in here to the blog. Also, what do you guys think? Do you use video in your work? Are you offering video and photography? Just focusing on photography? I do notice a lot of folks doing drone work these days. So guess that's just where the market's going. But back to wit photography, looking here at the blog, I really love the blog presentation for your site. I think this is a really nice, clean looking blog, and you can also see that this is pretty frequently updated. So great use of the blog feature. I really enjoy these featured photos. Let's have a look at one of these posts. One thing that's really great about the blog and custom pages as well is that you get the option to include so much text. And that's really great for your search engine optimization, because search engines will crawl site pages for useful information, and the more hits you get with the wording that you use in your blogs and your custom pages, the more likely search engines are to discover your site and to rank your site a little bit higher in search engine results. So one thing I did also want to call attention to, looking back here at the main blog page, is that I know North Carolina geography a little bit, and I know that home base is not necessarily all that close to Wilmington, so I guess that you guys travel a little bit for your photography. I think that's great that anyone visiting your site, say someone in North Carolina looking for North Carolina photographers, hits on your site via a search engine, looks and goes to your home page, goes, oh goodness, I really love this photography, but these folks are all the way in Louisville. If they were to keep clicking, say, to have a look at your blog, they'd see that, oh wow, well they've traveled to Wilmington, they've traveled to the Outer Banks. So I think this blog is actually really useful in attracting potential clients, not only to see the work that you're doing and find out a little bit more about the story for particular clients, but also to have a little hope, you know, if they might be out in Eden versus Charlotte, maybe these folks will travel to come photograph my wedding. So I definitely think that this is a well-utilized blog feature and a really sweet story. One thing that I did notice that I think could maybe be improved here is that while these other vendors have been linked to in the blog post, it's hard to tell that these are links. So within Theme Designer, you can set links to have a different color and be a little bit more prominent. Of course, upon hover, we can tell that these are linked pages, but until you hover over it, it's hard to tell that these would be linking to these various other sites. So that's something you might want to consider, changing the presentation of links before they're hovered in Theme Designer. Another blog post, and it looks like this is pretty regularly updated, so I was really impressed by the use of the blog in this site. And how about you guys in chat? Do you use the blog feature with your Zenfolio site? Do you find it helpful? Anything that you find especially useful with the blog? Do you use anchors from the formatting toolbar? Do you use hyperlinks? Right, so having a look here at the contact page, you know, one thing that I thought about as I was looking over this site was how impressed I was at how clean the presentation was for all of the pages. It's a very consistent look, very clean look, really accessible and readable site. And that applies here in the contact page as well. So just a built-in, easy peasy contact page. Of course, those of you who have played around with the various layouts and things like our built-in pages might know that with a contact page, you can include both a visitor form and contact information for yourself as a kind of sidebar. But since Hannah and Matt are using the footer here with their contact info, I think that just using the visitor form is perfectly okay in this case, with, of course, these optional fields for a little bit more information about their clients. I think the Instagram handle is a really great question in case they're trying to get a little bit more information about the aesthetic of the client. So I thought that this was a perfectly useful contact page. And last but not least, the Get to Know Us page. Also, I did want to mention how much I like this accent color, this lovely blue, almost cyan color used here in the site menu. While there's not a lot of color on the site, it is a kind of nice pop that you get to see on most of the site pages. So I thought that the images used here for the photographers are really lovely images with lots of fun information. I like the consistency of the fun facts and the paragraph descriptions of, how you guys see yourselves. I thought it was a really great way of introducing your clients to your personality. Also helpful to see that in the case of having expensive equipment out there, that you guys are well covered in the rain. One thing that I did think as I was looking over this Get to Know Us page was that since you guys are offering services both in photography and in videography for your clients, it might be helpful to include a video that gives a kind of motion picture introduction to you and both of you together. I thought that that would be maybe something really nice to have on your Get to Know Us page. But just something to consider. Of course, that kind of thing, as you guys well know, can require a good bit of time and effort if you want to make that a well-edited video. But I think that that would be a really nice thing to include here on your About Us, Get to Know Us page. So let's have just a brief overview of everything that we've covered here on the site. So using the custom logo to navigate back here to the home page. Again, nice clean layout for the home page. I love the use of the single image. It's a charming image. It looks like the sweet folk of North Carolina with the beautiful scenery. So I thought that this was a really great use of just a single image to highlight your work. Again, really nice site menu with that pop of color, especially with this black and white image. It really sets off the tone of the aesthetic of your work, that clients can expect something clean and well organized from you. I also love these testimonials and really just a great use of the home page and the welcome message, letting folks know where they can find you and including that contact information with social media icons to reach you in other areas of the web. Looks like everything is pretty consistent down there. Going back here to the photography site menu item, again, maybe just having a little bit more consistency between photography as a site menu item maybe renaming that group to the photography group, since these are going to be something more like client galleries rather than portfolio presentations of the various genres that you've covered. And you may even consider creating a portfolio and then a separate client galleries section, so that maybe under photography you could do a drop down menu, one for portfolio that has some of your best images, and then a second one for client galleries. Might be something to consider. Again, looking at the photo page layout on some of these galleries not being quite consistent with some of the other galleries might be something that you want to look into in case you want that consistency across those types of galleries as well. A nice consistent setup with the films group, and I really love how easy it is to see exactly what types of videos I'm wanting to look at as a visitor, and a consistent layout applied for each of those galleries. Really nice use of the blog feature with lots of really great information in here. Clean contact page. Also, again, maybe with the blog feature and with the site theme generally, making it so that links are a little bit more prominent. And then with the Get to Know Us page, maybe just including a video. But I really like this page. I really love this site. I love that I get an immediate feel for the aesthetic of the photographer, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please like, share, comment, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching that site review. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we post videos and when we go live. Now, if you're interested in having your site reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your website for that. And in addition to getting a site review, you're also going to get a link where you can schedule a session with me. We're going to go over your website, go over the review. I'll answer any questions that you have and help you make any changes that you're interested in making. So the link to sign up for that is in the description below this video. Now, don't forget, Zenfolio Live coming up this Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there. Until then, I hope you have a great week.